I am driving and I drive down this way regularly, and I see these mountains and they look so beautiful. I picture myself at the top of the mountain, and I see the sunset. It's a nice view. I want to enjoy the view from the top of the mountain. And so one day I'm looking for a place to sit for a while. And so I go to my maps and I find that there's a lookout at the top of the mountain. So I go to the top of the mountain and I'm driving, but it says the lookout is to my left, but there's nothing to my left. And so I keep driving and I see a street and I go down the street and I'm walking through this mountain, driving through this mountain, but it feels not safe. And it feels like a dark energy. I don't feel comfortable here. There's no view. There's a lot of trees, which I expected, but it's making it dark. It's making it feel claustrophobic. It feels like I'm getting closed in. I'm getting trapped. And there are some people parked up there, but are they safe? I don't know. I have this funny feeling in my stomach. I don't feel good. I don't feel right. Something feels off. But I thought I'd like it up here. I was so excited. I was driving up the winding hill and the people behind me were aggravated. I was driving the speed limit, even faster than the speed limit sometimes. I was driving the speed limit. I was driving the speed limit, but the person behind me, they didn't like it. They were pressuring me to go faster. Their lights were in my rearview mirror, blinding me and pressuring me. I hate it up here. I try to stay. I try to look for the lookout. I try to savor the moment, try to save the moment, try to make something out of it, because I spent this effort trying to get up here. And the drive up, it was so uncomfortable, it was so difficult. But there's nothing up here for me. It just really doesn't feel good. I want to leave, but there's part of me that is trying to convince me not to. And it feels like there are other players up there, other people who are parked up there who wish I would stay because they're lonely and they see someone vulnerable. Not actually vulnerable, but vulnerable because they're in the wrong place. And so they see that they can take advantage of that. But I can see through them. I'm not going to let myself be taken advantage of. I'm not going to get out of the car. I'm not going to put myself in any more vulnerable position, any more of a vulnerable position. And so I want to leave. But now I'm like, well, where do I go now? I don't know this area. I spent all my resources getting here. And I've got this time to use. What do I use it on? I had something I wanted to achieve, and I thought I could do it up there. I thought that would be a nice place to do it. But why am I trying to convince myself to stay? It's making it even more uncomfortable. Like, I spent some time exploring. I tried to see if there was an option for me here, but there's not. So I leave. But now I feel guilt. I feel shame. How could I be so silly to think that there was something up there for me? But also, I think back to the journey up, and there were people pressuring me. There were people trying to say I'm too slow. But I wasn't slow. I was going the speed limit. So it's like they were trying to say I don't deserve to be on the mountain. I'm not the type of person who would go up the mountain. They're the ones who rule the road. They're the ones who know the path. And so they get to set the speed limit. They get to set the rules. But they don't. But they're trying to be big-headed. They're trying to pressure me to follow them. But I ignore them because I know I'm stronger than that. I know that I deserve to be up the mountain. I know that I'm taking the drive up there. I'm taking the journey up there. And I'm not doing anything wrong. But now I'm leaving the mountain. And so, were they right? Were they right to say that I didn't deserve to be up there? Were they trying to warn me? It didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like they had good intentions for me. It just felt like they wanted to own me, but also make me feel less than them, make me feel not good enough to be on their road. But now I'm leaving, and they're like, told you so. And now I'm driving down the hill. It's still a winding hill. And I'm still going the speed limit, but there's another car behind me, pressuring me to go faster. They're probably less than 10 centimeters from behind me in my car. Their lights are directly in my rearview mirror, so I flip it down and I just continue driving the way I know to drive. And I'm enjoying myself. I listen to my music, trying to ignore them. But it's like, on one hand, they want to go around me and they want to get out of my presence. But on the other hand, it's like, they want me to see them? I don't know. It's frustrating and it's annoying. And I mean, it's only one-way street. So I can't let them pass. But I also don't want to let them pass. I don't want to give in to their pressure. Like, they don't own the road. And so I feel angry and frustrated with myself for even thinking about them, because I flipped my mirror down, so now their lights aren't flashing in my eyes. And I've got my music on, so I can't hear them. And we're on a one-way street, so there's only one lane. They can't go around me. They have no option but to just back up a bit. If they want to be dangerous, I don't know. I can only then take my own precautions. But this happens a lot. This pressuring me on the road. I get the feeling that people think I'm going slow because I'm scared to drive. Even on the highway, I'll go in the left lane, the slow lane, and I'll go at the speed limit, or sometimes I'll go a bit slower than the speed limit. But people will back up behind me, even though it's nighttime. There's no one else on the road. They can take the other lanes, but they want to come right up behind me. And I know that they're pressuring me. They want to feel that power of getting me to move out of the way. And they also want to gawk at me. They love seeing someone who they interpret as less skilled, as less powerful, as powerless. And they want to feel that power. They want to overtake me. But they don't know that I'm driving for fun. They don't know that this is my hobby. They don't know that I'm not going slow because I'm a trepidatious driver, that I'm a cautious driver. I mean, I am cautious, I am safe, but I'm going slow because I'm enjoying myself. And if I wanted to go fast, I would. If it was legal to go fast, I would, because I love going fast. I love the speed. But I don't do that all the time because sometimes I just want to enjoy my view. I just want to enjoy the time I'm spending with myself on this journey, on this drive. But the thing is, they still come up behind me, and sometimes I just keep at my pace, and then they just get frustrated and go around. But sometimes I still get angry. So what am I angry about? I'm angry that I have to even put up with them. I'm angry that I'm spending energy thinking about this and not just focused on the road in front of me. I'm angry that they're actually driving in a dangerous manner, and so now I have to take extra caution in order to protect myself. Something about that. Because it's like now I have to not only think about myself and my car, but I have to think about them and them driving so close behind me. So if I have to suddenly stop, then they're going to rear end me. But I can't drive faster because we're going at the speed limit. And so how do I get them to go around me? I can only wait until they get so frustrated that they go around, or I let them go. But I don't want to let them go. That's the frustrating part. It's like they're forcing me to their will. They're forcing me to pretend that they own the road when they don't. But in me thinking about it, it feels like I'm letting them win, in letting it get to me, in letting myself feel frustrated. It's like I'm letting them win. It's like I'm somehow giving them the crown, honoring them as the king. But that feels so gross, so disgusting, because the behavior is childish. It's like they're throwing a tantrum. It's embarrassing for them. But it's embarrassing for them, but then I'm the one who still gets frustrated. So what would happen if I just kept facing forward, not checking the rearview mirror, not checking how close they are behind me, not moving out of their way. This is not a one-way street anymore going up the mountain. This is on a 3-lane highway in non-peak times, in non-traffic times. They can go around, but they're purposely choosing not to. So what happens if I ignore them? If I ignore them, it's like, then I don't get to play the game either. Maybe I got to feel powerful in not moving, and so it's like they want to force me out of the way, but then I resist and I say no, but then I become petulant. Then I am still accepting their game. I'm still playing their game. Oh, yeah. Now it's like I have to finish the game in order to get my power back. And so it's like they roped me into the game. They baited me into the game, and I took the bait because now I'm frustrated, and now I have to hold my stance. But that's still playing the game. And in my acceptance of the game, I gave away my power to them, and now I have to win it back. So what's it like if I don't get frustrated, if I don't play the game? What would happen then? So I'm driving along and they come up behind me and they offer the bait, but I don't take it because it's in my feeling, it's in my body, whether or not I take the bait, whether I engage in the game. It's not really in the action. So I don't take the bait. Then what? Well, then they just move on. But I feel some kind of loss. Like, maybe it was fun for me to play the game. It was fun for me to be frustrated. It was fun for me to give away my power and then try and win it back. No. Which part was fun? Maybe it's fun that I prove to myself that I can win it back. But the thing is, if I don't play the game, then I just have it all the time. And so I don't need to prove it to myself that I have it, because I just have it. So is it that sometimes there are other situations in my life where it feels like someone else takes my power away? And so when people play this game on the road with me and I win, it's like I get this satisfaction that I have it in me to conquer an opponent. So in the other areas of my life where it feels like someone is taking my power away, I can reference how I don't let it happen on the road. And so that gives me some kind of confidence that I can do it in the other situations. But I don't understand why I can't just hold my power, not be baited into a game across all of my life situations. Because then I won't have to find examples where I won and then use that to make me confident in the other life arenas. Okay. So let's not have my power, but let's recognize my power. And it's stable. And then I'm walking through town and people come up to me and they offer me their game. They offer me the bait, but I just politely decline. it depends. Sometimes I politely decline, sometimes I just look at them, then keep walking. Whatever is needed, I can naturally let nature decline it in the way that needs to be declined for each person. But the point is, I never take the bait, but I don't do it in a disgruntled way. I don't do it in a frustrated way. I'm not angry that people came and offered me the game. They offered me the bait. I'm not angry. It's like I have a knowingness that people will do this regardless. Okay, so is there an overarching annoyance that the game even exists? Because in this example where I'm declining, it feels fine, like I continue declining, and my feelings are stable, like nothing's happening. I just feel baseline. I don't feel good, I don't feel bad, I don't feel happy, I don't feel sad, I don't feel frustrated, I don't feel elated. There's nothing about the attention I'm getting, like that doesn't play into it at all. But it's like I'm still walking through the town and I'm walking down the street, down the main street, but the people keep coming. And so it's like I'm walking but constantly surrounded by this crowd of people who are trying to offer me their game. So it's like, what would it be like if I just walked and no one offered me the game at all? Because maybe they're in their shops, maybe they're across the road, maybe they're in their cars, on their bikes, in the side streets, and they see me walking, but they know that that's a person that doesn't accept the game, so they can just see it in me. And so they don't even come up to offer because they know they're going to get declined. So I guess there was something in my energy that was baiting people towards me to offer them, for them to offer me the game. So what if I let that part of me go? What if people see me and they just know I'm not going to take a game, so they don't even offer? So now I'm walking down the street and no one's coming up to me. Okay. Now I feel kind of lonely. I feel like, oh, why is no one coming up to me? And I start getting insecure, thinking, what? And do they not think I can take them? Do they not think that I can't beat them? And so I'm getting defensive and puffing up my chest. And now I want them to come. Why, though? Well, because I want to prove to them that I can beat them. Why? Because isn't that what I've been taught? Isn't that the business playbook? Because earlier, when I was imagining myself going up the mountain, it was like I was inclining on some kind of career ladder. I was progressing in my career because I thought once I get to the top of the career ladder, then I'll have this power, I'll have this prestige, I'll have this presentation. I will look like a conqueror, a king to the people below in the valley, but also the people who are trying to come up my same mountain. But I wasn't seeing myself as an inspiration. I was seeing myself as a king, as a conqueror, as a dictator, but not a dictator. Someone who had more power and someone who was to be feared. And the thing is, when I was coming up the mountain, there's some kind of difference about me. My gender, my sexuality, the way I look, something that sets me apart from the usual people who climb up this mountain. And so people were putting this pressure on me as I was coming up, and they were trying to discourage me. They were trying to say that I don't fit in. I'm not meant to be up there because I'm not the type of person who conquers this mountain. And so I had to prove to them that I could do it, that I was capable. And it doesn't matter about my difference. I could still do it. But then it was like I got up the mountain and I didn't like it. Like, the payoff wasn't what I thought it would be. It's not even good, actually. Like, it doesn't satisfy me. And so I leave the mountain, but it's like I spent all this time, all this effort proving that I could go up the mountain, and now I'm leaving. And I don't want people to think it's because I couldn't take the pressure. I don't want people to think it's because this difference actually did turn out to be some kind of disadvantage, or it made me not fit in, because it wasn't that. It was just that the payoff, the salary, the remuneration, you know what I mean. It didn't meet my expectations, or maybe it was what I was expecting, but it didn't give me what I wanted. And so there's no point in staying. I just want to move on. But now I'm feeling this pressure again as I get off the mountain, as I come down the mountain. It's the same types of people saying the same types of thing about this difference about me. But now I'm down the mountain, and now I'm on the highway, and now there's more room. But I'm still coming up to this same game. It's like a game of chicken. Who's going to hold out? Who's going to hold strong? Who's going to hold their position? But I'm over going up the mountain, coming down the mountain. Now I'm just enjoying my drive. And so why are people still baiting me into this game? And why am I still playing it? And so now let's go back to walking down the street in the town. So now I'm feeling lonely, that no one is coming up to offer me their game. So if I was back on the highway, it would be like me driving, just enjoying myself, but no one's coming to pressure me. No one's trying to egg me on. Is that the right? But it's like I became addicted to that kind of pressure. I became addicted to proving people wrong about me. And so now that I'm just walking along, I'm just driving along, enjoying my space, enjoying my time, it's like it feels like there's something missing, because I don't get that dopamine hit. Was I getting a dopamine hit from proving them wrong? Was I getting some kind of feeling of invincibility, some kind of feeling of strength, that I could conquer them, that I could battle them and win? But now so if I'm just enjoying my drive, enjoying my walk, that means I'm no longer trying to prove myself. But if I'm no longer trying to prove myself, then am I different from any of the other drivers on the road, from any of the other people walking? I guess the thing is, because I was different and because I was pursuing this thing where there weren't many people like me, I got some kind of fame, some kind of recognition, even if it was bad publicity. All publicity is good publicity, that sort of thing. Like, I was getting attention, I was getting praise from people who saw that I was conquering and winning. And so now I lack that, and now it's just quiet, it's just peaceful. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with just being quiet, with just being peaceful, with knowing my power, knowing my worth, and not having people coming up and trying to challenge me about it? Well, if no one challenges me about it, then I can't prove it to them. So maybe it's like, how will other people know of my power if there's no display of the battle, no display of the challenge, and no display of me winning and conquering? But the thing is, the reason people aren't coming up to bait me, they're not coming up to challenge me, they're not coming up to entice me into a game, it's because they can see that I'm not the type to play games. I'm not the type to even consider such a baiting offer. And so if they see that in me, then they know that it's because I have a power that I don't need to prove to other people. And so that means other people can see it, they can feel it. And so it's not trying to prove it to other people, not trying to get other people to see, to recognize. Is it that it's a bit boring? Is it that it's not inspirational to other people? But this kind of energy is more inspirational to people, because getting engaged in games, taking bait, it's quite immature, but holding your own and having people feel it, even if they're at a distance, that is more inspiring. So it's not that. It doesn't feel like it's about other people. It feels like something within me. Like there's something gnawing in my stomach. It's like a little creature that's gnawing at me, like eating my organs. Which is quite uncomfortable. But kind of funny, it's kind of silly. It's like this creature, I'm seeing this little fluffy, like small character. And the character itself doesn't look intimidating. But it's still eating my organs. So, like, I'm seeing it eat my stomach tissue, this tissue that creates the stomach. And so, yeah, is it something like, because of this difference about me, people underestimate me? And so, through this constant taking on the challenge, taking the battle, engaging in the war, and then conquering it, I got to show people that their underestimation about me was wrong. But we said it wasn't about other people, it's about me. So am I underestimating myself? I don't think that's it either. Is it that it makes a great story? Like, it's a fun story? It's kind of fun to play the game? Because I think it is fun to engage in that game, in that challenge, in that war as something that's fun. But I was taking it kind of seriously before. Like, before, whether or not I conquered actually meant something about me. But if I engage in it now, it's just a bit of fun. That's not it either. Okay, so I'm driving or walking down the street and no one's engaging with me. No one's interacting with me because they know they can't play with me. Yeah, it's something about, like, because why is it play, right? So it's like if I push it too far, then people are going to think I'm too serious, because having that power and having people feel it when I walk into the room, when I walk through the town, when I'm driving, it's kind of intimidating. And so if I have it on full display and I'm taking it very seriously, then people won't ever want to approach me. People won't even want to play anymore. And so it's like, how can I soften this? And so I get back to an equilibrium. How do I get back to like a homeostasis? How do I get back to the middle part where on one hand I'm so stable and settled in my power that people aren't going to come and bait me, but on the other hand, how do I be soft and approachable and friendly enough that people can come and play with me without it having to be about whether or not I prove myself? Because it's like a pendulum swing. So on one extreme, I had to prove myself for so long. And so this game, it was actually quite serious to me, because I had to show people that they can't underestimate me, or their underestimation of me was wrong, and that it's this difference about me isn't making me weak. It doesn't make me less skilled. It doesn't make me scared. I'm not fearful. I'm good at this thing. I can conquer. I can win. But there's this, the pendulum swings to that extreme. And so there's a hardening and attachment around that. So then if we swing it to the other end, then it's like, well, I'm so set in my own perception of myself, my own feeling of myself, my knowingness of my power, of my identity. And so I don't have to prove that to anyone anymore. But then it's like that can become so strong and so intimidating on its own that people will never approach me. And so it like leaves this loneliness, because people, when they sense that power, there's nothing that they can give to you. There's nothing that they can teach you, because you're so self-sufficient. And so then you start to lose your relevance, because people just see you and they can't offer you anything. And so how do you get back to the middle where people can start offering you play? And it's like in that playfulness, you're no longer trying to prove yourself, and they're no longer trying to take something from you, or they're no longer trying to hurt you. And if they come and offer you a game, it's not because they're trying to even prove themselves, but if you let go of being attached to being so set in your own power and come back to the middle, then it's like people can come play and they can learn in that play with you, and you can enjoy yourself in that play with them. And the interaction is important because you learn from each other. And it might not even be about the game. It might not be about the power thing, but you're just getting to know someone, getting to have a shared experience. And so it's like you still want to be able to invite people into your space, but without having the game actually mean something drastic. Okay. So I'm wondering, what is it that you let go of? Because it's not like you let go and then you actually let go of some of your power. It's not that, because your power is stable. It's not going to go anywhere. You can't add more. You can't take away. So it's like, you know that. It's really about this Vedic idea of Lesha Vidya, which means the faint remains of ignorance. The faint remains of ignorance. The faint remains of ignorance. And it's saying that a person who knows their identity, they know their identity as the big self, as God, as nature, they become a perfected human, a perfected person. Doesn't mean perfect, but it means perfected, which means in balance with the laws of nature constantly. And an enlightened person is like this. They're constantly adapting and flexible with the laws of nature because they let nature come through them and dictate the way that they move, the way that they act, the way that they... It's like they are adopted by nature. They become an expression of nature. And so they're perfected because they're constantly being that expression of nature, and they're not resisting, they're not going against it. But someone who is so perfected, no one can interact with them, because what would that perfected person ever need? And so they start to lose their relevance. And a person who starts to lose their relevance, their body starts to disintegrate. They might there would be no reason for them to have a body. They can, because they're enlightened, they can just disperse into the consciousness. But consciousness wants to use nature. Nature is consciousness. Nature wants to use enlightened people to help the storyline of evolution. And so it's useful to be enlightened, but still to be in a body. So how do you keep your body? You need this faint remains of ignorance, which means a little bit of ignorance. Ignorance is ignoring what you know, and what you know is knowing that you are nature. And so it's like you'll always know, but you keep this faint remain of ignorance, so that there's like a part of you that conveniently forgets a little bit about how you are nature, you are God. And it's that little bit of forgetting which allows other people who are not yet enlightened to come and interact with you. And when they're interacting with you, they become inspired, and they learn and they grow and they evolve to eventually become enlightened like you are. And so it's about introducing something like that something that helps you become relevant to the group again, something that helps you play with when I was imagining you're walking down the main road of the town, and it's like, instead of begrudging adults who are going to make you play their game because they want to prove something, instead of that, it's like now you're letting young innocent children come and like play a game, and it's for fun. It's not because anyone's trying to prove anything, but you're inspiring them. But if you're too perfected, no child wants to come up to you, because what can that child offer you? Okay. So I guess the mountain could also be this path, this journey to enlightenment. You get up to the top of the mountain, you become enlightened. You become a perfected human, which is good. You don't want to get off the mountain. Once you're enlightened, you can't backtrack in consciousness. But there's this paradox in which you have to now introduce a bit of forgetting, introduce a bit of this ignorance. And so it's like you have to come back down the mountain a bit. But it's almost like on the journey up, you try to prove to everyone that you're enlightened because you think you have to show it off or something. But then it's like you come back down the mountain, and now you have to kind of show people that you're not going to show them that you're less enlightened, but you have to kind of show some kind of humility, some humanness. And that humanness is a bit of that forgetting that you are God, forgetting you are nature. And so it's like you did all this work to no longer play the game. You became enlightened so that you no longer have to play the mortal game. And yet you get to the top, and then you have to come back down a bit. Now it's like you do actually have to play the game. You will have to play the game as a human because you still have a human body. But it's not so serious after enlightenment. It's fun. So it's like two sides of the same mountain, but on one of them it feels really serious, and then on the other one it just it's more relaxed and it's more inviting. It's more like you can invite people in without worrying about whether they're going to. The challenge is not life or death. The challenge is a play and display of storyline.